Everyone.
Everyone.
Happy New Year from down under here in Australia. It's 2025. Who would have thought? Another year. Wow, time just goes by so quickly, doesn't it? It's quite amazing how quickly it does go. Well, we had a big year last year. Quite a lot of work done. Quite a lot of things happened. We'll talk about that in a moment. Today we're going to, a little later on, we're going to talk about the old Gottlieb ASFS relay, a little bit about those. Main reason we're going to do that is someone put a post up in the Facebook group just yesterday looking for one for a big shot. This isn't one for a big shot, this is out of a card whiz. But we thought we'd have a chat about these because these perplex a lot of people, and we've done a couple of videos on these as well, so all good to go. Here he is.
Yeah, he's back for another year.
He's back. Good goat. He's still a bit dirty. We've got to give him a clean up. That's from his trip to America. He still hasn't sort of recovered.
No.
Now, I guess what we'll talk about is what we've got to do when we come back to work. So today is the 4th of January 2025. It's 23 degrees Celsius outside, which is about 73 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to get a little bit warmer today, around about 29 degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius I mean. But tomorrow we're going to get about 36 degrees, Monday I'm sorry, which is when we come back to work. So that'll be quite hot for our first day back. You may or may not be able to hear a noise in the background, which is there. We've just got a fan circulating a bit of air around here. We've got the front doors open, and that just keeps us a little cooler.
Yeah, not much weather.
You can see the roof. It's a tin shed. If you look closely, you can see a bit of insulation up there in the eaves. That's to help with our air conditioner when we run it. But we've got to turn that on early and everything like that. And of course, to run the air conditioner, this is Graham's home we're in, and it costs money. So, you know, we're a bit frugal on how we run it because it's one of those old in-the-wall things, and they suck up the juice pretty quickly.
Suck up the dollars.
And, yeah, they do. And we're only poor pinball mechanics. I mean, we can't afford a lot.
Can't afford it.
Barely. So everyone had a great Christmas and New Year. A lot of people still on holiday, I imagine. Everyone in the USA, are you still on in the holiday mode? Anyone on vacation? We finished up the weekend before Christmas, and like as I just said, we come back on Monday, which is the 6th, and we've already got a lot of work to do. So just to give you an overview of what we've got to do when we come back, we've got 9 jobs that we're already booked in, and some of those jobs are actually here. So let me just tell you a few that we've got to do. We've got close encounters, Gottlieb close encounters. That's the one that's had a lot of work done on it, and the cabinets all been attended to, the playfield's in immaculate condition. It's quite a nice machine. So we've just got some troubleshooting to do on that, and we'll probably end up doing a video on that. We have a Gottlieb Pro Football, which belongs to our apprentice Kyle. We've had a bit of a hold up on that. We're just waiting on a new cabinet to come in, and we can do a bit more work on that. We've got a Gottlieb Ice Show, which is the outer ball version of Ice Review. Strange that we've got an outer ball, but some of those were brought into the country.
We do get them every now and then.
Yeah, we recently learnt that just late last year, another container of pinball machines came in from America to Australia. We've got a card whiz to do. That also belongs to our apprentice Kyle. We've just done the player unit up on that. Over my shoulder here you can see Williams Casanova. That's one of the machines that was purchased in a bulk of 6 just before Christmas from the mid-north coast of New South Wales here. That's actually been sold to a gentleman, an older guy. He's a friend of Graham's brothers, and he wants to have a pinball machine and see how he goes.
His first machine.
Yeah, that's right. So we did a couple of videos on that, and the last one we did was on the latching relay. Now, if you haven't looked at that video on the Williams latching relay, it goes for about 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Take a look, because it's headlined Williams latching relay, but the nomenclature, the explanation between the schematic and what's written on the relay are in 2 different worlds, and it can be very confusing. It confused us a little bit too. There was a wiring problem on it, and they're a lot like the Gottlieb latching relays. We actually thought this thing had residual magnetism on the plate, but it didn't. So have a look at that video. It's only 8 minutes out of your life. We've also got a Gottlieb Mustang in the queue. It's actually here as well. So after Close Encounters we'll be attacking Mustang. Although Close Encounters is problematic, there's a lot of machines around it and we've got to move things around. So this Mustang belongs to people that bought a Jungle Queen.
We just finished.
Yeah, we finished late last year. So they brought that with them. We've got a Gottlieb Kingpin coming in. This machine was supposed to have come toward the late last year, I think August or something. It belongs to the guy's dad. The bloke's son lives here in Newcastle where we live, and his dad lives in Victoria, which is the state below us. So he went down and picked up this Kingpin. Just before Christmas, the week before Christmas, a guy landed on the doorstep. Graham, you hadn't seen him for 20 years?
Yeah, probably over 20 years. Yeah.
What did you do for him?
I fixed a quick draw.
Okay.
Yeah, years ago.
And it's still working?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
How could that be?
I thought he'd got to come back and win because it didn't work the other
Warranty job?
Yeah.
Okay. And he just lobbed up here on his ute, or his pickup truck for you guys in America, with a fantastic. He said, I just bought this, I want it fixed. We said, well, we can do that for you, mate, but we can't do it till next year.
We didn't have enough room to drop it off.
Yeah, there was no room in here. Like, we're pretty well chock-a-block. And the same people that own the Mustang, which we just mentioned a minute ago, have got a golden arrow, a Gottlieb golden arrow that
looking forward to work on.
They just bought. We've worked on those before.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's a fun game, isn't it?
Yeah, good little fun game, fast game.
I think the last one of those we saw was that chap from Coffs Harbour a couple of years ago.
And you've got the spinners really way up the top, probably the furthest up the top spinners in any game.
Would that be right, would it?
Yeah, and those horrible plastic spinners too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're a shocker, aren't
you
they?
get them working, but they take a lot of adjusting.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, they weren't a good design.
Yeah, sure. So that's what we've got. That's 9 machines too.
Also, when we've got time, we've got to give our Klondike a run through as well.
Yeah, so Graham's got a Klondike. That's his Grail machine, which is good.
The game works, I just want it working.
Just tune it up a bit.
We want a goat shed approved.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a couple of minor things wrong with it. The guy had about 15 pinball machines, which our friend Kyle bought 6 of those. And what's the one we went to his place just before Christmas to have a look at? The
Triple Action?
Sure, he's got a Williams Triple Action. It's really...
yeah, the ball count was playing up.
Really bad. Yeah, there's a 10th machine we've got. It's Abracadabra. I forgot about that.
Is that the one we done the playfield swap on?
Yeah. So early last year we did a playfield swap on Abracadabra. We did a video on that, and yeah, we've got to do that. Yeah, sorry about that, Brett. I did have that written on another sheet of paper, but this is a fresh sheet. You said to wipe it off.
Yeah, don't worry about that one.
Right. So we have that to do. What else have we got? Well, they're all the machines that we've got booked in, and some are actually here, so there's quite a few to do. The other projects we've got underway, we've mentioned before, is the Gottlieb Lightning Ball, the Woodrow from 1959. Bit of a hold up with parts on that, so hopefully we'll be able to get those parts. I must check if they're available. PBR were out of the 1-inch white, wasn't it? White inserts, playfield inserts.
You'd assume they use them the most.
We want to replace those before we put that overlay thing on it, to be fair. And we've still got the Midway Whirlybird. That was the other thing I started to write down. Yeah, God, I don't know when we'll ever get onto that.
So much in the way of it.
Yeah. There's a good friend Jim from Pennsylvania saying hi. G'day, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
And he said snowy Pennsylvania, so it's sunny Australia here and snowy Pennsylvania over in North America. And I think it's been a bit of snow in a few other parts of their world over there, maybe Colorado. I know Illinois hasn't had a lot of snow. Some good friends have been writing up about that, which is pretty strange. But anyway, different parts of the world, different weather. I put a post up on my personal Facebook page the other day about it was, I think, so many degrees here in Australia, 28 degrees. I think it was New Year's Eve. What was it like in other parts of the world? And different parts of America. It's amazing, from the east to the Midwest to the mountains to the coast, the west coast, you know, the difference in temperatures. I actually saw a post in a San Diego group where it snowed in, what's the place that makes the apple pies? Julian. Now that'd be unusual. It's sort of in the mountainy area of San Diego. It's still in San Diego County, but it's out of the way a bit. But by God, they make great apple pies. Anyone ever had one of those? Wonderful. I've been doing a bit of shopping, and Graham's been doing a bit of cleaning here in the goat shed. I came in today and the place is all cleaned up. Well, the benches, best we can do, because the goat makes it all dirty, comes down here, there's parties and goat orgies and so on and so forth. I want to show you guys something that a lot of people probably don't use. These are brand new. I just bought these. They're duckbill pliers. Now see the end of them there? They're not pointy, they're duckbill. So a lot of people use the bigger duckbill pliers, but we use these a lot in the typewriter game. Now they're 8-inch, they're the ideal ones. I needed to replace mine at home, or get a spare pair. I've still got a pair I've had for 50 years. But we've never had these in the goat shed, and they're great for bending things. Now you can see there it's showing you, that one, how to bend something, and this one here it's illustrating you can undo a nut with it. But I like to use them for bending or forming things. And you know what we say? If you bend something, you don't know what you're doing. If you form it, that's F-O-R-M, you know what you're doing. So they were about 28 bucks off eBay, and they're made in Japan, Sonoda, and they look to be a really good pair of duckbill pliers. And if you want to look at those, their part number is D for David, B for Barry, P for Peter, DBP 200-200. Duckbill pliers, 8-inch or 200 millimeters. So yeah, I'm happy to have those. I've missed them. As most people know, I was in the office machine game for 45 years, and I'm used to certain tools, and I was very fortunate too. A lot of my tools are all the old American Imperial type ones, so I had a lot of spanners at work, but that didn't stop me from going to Home Depot when I was in America and buying another set of Husky nut drivers. I've got them at home because I never really had a full set at home. Now let's talk about what we've done. Hello, it's John here in the UK. Hello, John, in Yorkshire. You forget about the UK a bit with the weather in Europe. We've got a number of YouTube viewers in the UK. Not a lot though, only a small percentage. which is a bit surprising, really. I thought there'd be a lot more people. Our biggest country viewers are America with well over 50%, and it's always a race between Canada and Australia to see who's next, and then we get some other countries like Germany, Belgium, even Japan. We've got viewers in Japan now, which is quite...
Very big in Japan.
Yeah, we're a hit in Japan. Yeah, they don't understand a word we're saying. I'd like to see how they convert our English into their Japanese, and what do they use? Kanji characters or whatever. Be quite funny. Sorry, Japanese people. But in Yorkshire, Yorkshire, that's Geordie territory, is it not, John? I have an English friend I drink with in the pub every day. Well, he's actually born in Australia, but he lived in Maidenhead, which I think south west of London. And he tells us a lot of interesting stories about the English. We still give him heaps. And when England, I think the Ashes are on this year, and when England come out to play, I think they come here this time, we'll see who he barracks for. That's in the cricket. A lot of you Americans don't probably play cricket, although I think it is getting popular. But let's talk about some of the stuff we did last year, and 2024 is gone. 2025 has started. So what have we got, Graham? You start off there. We had what?
Well, our last machine for 23 was Grand Slam. And then we met the new year straight up, pretty well the first week with a surfer, which was a very common game that we fix a lot. Then we come that same month, a couple of days later, we got a magnetron in. And that was an auction game, remember that one? We've seen that one at the auction, and
it came from the USA.
Yeah, it had the
captain's auctions or something?
Yeah, around the score windows were all cut out with a razor blade. All the white was cut out.
Good morning, Murphy peoples.
Okay, then we got a Royal Guard. I remember that one, that was a good game. Then another surfer. It's unusual. From one of our long friends, Ross Mason, great mate with ours. And then we got a pro football in March. And a spinner card. We not the spinner card that we restored a couple of years ago. This is another one from the same auction, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, he's just interrupting there, Graham. I just wanted to say hi to John Copel. I've been watching for a while, quite a nightmare going with the Gottlieb ice game, so I travel to Oz quite a bit. Oh, okay, John. You're the guy from Yorkshire. Yeah, well, if you travel to Australia, and this is for anyone, a lot of people end up in Sydney, I guess Brisbane or Melbourne as well, but our location is 100 miles, or about 165 kilometres north of Sydney. So if anyone ever visits, we've had one international visitor here. We had Andre Four from France here.
Yeah. 2 years ago, was it?
September 2023.
It wasn't last Pinfest, the one before.
Yeah, so he came here and he was amazed by the place.
He was doing a world pinball tour.
Yeah. Here's Fish On recovering from the flu. All the best. Speedy recovery there, man. I think everyone's had a bit of the flu of late. And that's in Nebraska in the USA. I've not been to that state. Dave H. Banky. Now, this David H., I'm positive it's Dave that helps out from the Poconos in Pennsylvania. Is that correct, Dave? Helps out with us on Fun with Pinball and the coaching clinic. Which, by the way, people, there'll be another Mark Gibson Fun with Pinball coaching clinic on Friday next. Friday this week. So anyone wanting to get some help with a machine, please join us. But you've got to register with Mark. So you'll find he puts that up on the EM Pinball group, our group, the Goat Shed. Although, no, he mightn't be able to. He's been having a bit of trouble with Facebook. I don't know why. I hope he gets that all recovered. So what else we got there, Graham? Oh, a spinner card.
Spinner card, yeah.
Now, that was interesting. Is everyone familiar with spinner card? It's got that spinner mech on the bottom board.
Yeah,
That's the thing that's it's like a step unit. It winds all the way back, and then it releases and it kicks a spinner, an actual spinner around.
So it'll give you a random number.
That gives the randomisation of the number in the back box. And we had one where the Bakelite was worn out, and someone had actually made a little piece of plastic on the end of it to give it a tip. The tip had worn off. You can't buy that part new off PBR. I wrote to Steve Young about it. He did offer to have one, 3D printed, and I guess anyone can do that. But Graham said, I got one of them. I said, go on. Anyway, he said, yeah, I've got two. Anyway, he found one. We haven't found the other one. And we fitted that. So, and it's brand new old stock part for a...
Yeah, I had it 30 years. I thought I'd use it one day.
You probably got that when Hankins closed down, maybe, did you? Or?
No, I think we got that in a lot of pinball we got in the late 90s.
Okay.
We bought 20 pinball machines and 20 bingo machines and a dozen jukeboxes.
Yeah.
And a lot of parts.
Oh, okay. So David H is saying, yes, welcome, Dave. Yeah, that's good to know. I always thought that was you, but I've been meaning to ask you when we're on Mark, so I'll be seeing you next Friday, which will be Saturday here in Australia. They're always great. Mark Gibson's Fun with Pinball. I think it's the 59th one or 58th one he's done. Started them in COVID. And it's not like a classroom environment. It's like a chat room environment with video. And we fix your machine. We have different coaches. So there's Mark Gibson. He's David Valansky from Pacific Pinball Museum in San Francisco. There's Tim Meehan from... he's based out of Seattle. Very experienced pinball guy, Tim. He knows a lot about a lot of things. And there's Dave H there from the Poconos in Pennsylvania. There's another guy, Andre Goudot from... he's been joining us again for a while now. He's from Canada. And there's myself, and there's a few other guys that have been on and off over the years. Nick Shell was once a coach, but I just don't think he's got the time to do it anymore. Theron Troxell, he was involved in it. Who else?
You got Spanky,
Spanky, oh yeah, no, I've got to keep him away. Yeah, got a bit drunk. Yeah, so that spinner card was quite amazing that we were able to do that. And that guy just sold that game, and we actually know the guy who bought it. So
and we recommended it to people.
Yeah,
it was a good game.
Yeah. Rightio. And the next game we did, Graham, was Knockout.
Knockout, oh that's right, yeah, Knockout, yeah.
Oh my God.
That was a massive job.
That was a nightmare. And look, I'm going to tell you people, we did about 3 videos on that, and the guy was in trouble. And he'd been posting in the goat shed for help and posting where at Pinside, all over the place. Every time he turned the game on, the big solenoid coil on the trip bank would fire. Was it the 5-bank trip bank, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was 2 5 banks, and it was the one on the reset.
Yeah. Dirty big coil would pull in, and he couldn't solve it. So he said, look, let us have a look at it for you. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, so the guy had done a playfield swap. Okay, that's fine. When he bought the machine, he must have done a deal and got a playfield with a new old stock, or maybe it was a Wade Krause. I think Wade Krause did Knockout. Anyway, he's given us the game, and we've had a little look at it, and we've studied it, and of course, all the wiring on it it's 1953, so it's as old as me, was all white. You know, it was bleak. You couldn't read the colours on hardly any wire. Even the plastic wires had faded dramatically. And as you know, in those early Gottlieb's 50s, 60s games, whenever you saw a plastic wire, it generally had something to do with AC current. And, oh my God, the problems we had with this game, they were all, how would I say, self-created by the owner. It was just a nightmare, a literal nightmare. Sorry, I'm just trying to... Oh, there it goes.
Before we found any problems, we had to rebuild them.
As soon as you found one problem, that problem led to another problem which had been created. Anyway, we found 10 wires in the wrong spot. So there was 2 series relays. He put the wrong wire on the power side to both of those. He put the wire on the hot wire from the ender stroke switch actually onto the pop bumper coil, and the pop bumper coil hot wire onto the ender stroke switch. He had not assembled the one of the trip banks. He didn't correctly.
Oh yeah, the armature plates.
Armature plates were in the wrong hole in the. Oh my God! We did a video on it. Have a look at it.
The full stroke, so none of the switches were touched.
Anyway, the upshot of it is this game took us about
probably 80 hours.
80 odd to 90 hours. We don't keep an exact track of how many hours we did, and we did it like not every day. We had other jobs we had to do, and by the God, you know, we were trying to do other jobs, and in the end, we were sort of sorry we took it on, but we tracked it all down. We fixed the problem. Now, the reason that coil was pulling in all the time was there was a very simple circuit on the start relay, but of course, all these wires were in the wrong spot. It was, how would I say, one problem exacerbated to another problem, and it just ended up a nightmare. Anyway, we finally figured it out. We worked out, and there was another wire on a fuse wrong. That was the other thing, and we've put it all back together, and we rang the guy up and at one stage saying, mate, I don't know how we're going to go with this. Oh, well, I'll take it to so-and-so. And, well, we wish to hell he had taken it to so-and-so in the first place. But we said, let us persevere with it for one more week. Give us one more week, because we really didn't want it to beat us. No. But it was getting frustrating, you know, because of all the errors the owner made. It would have been cheaper for him to give us the playfield swap, let us do it.
Plus we had to work piling up.
So, and all the steppers that he reckoned he'd done, none of them worked. Everything had to be redone. Anyway, like we charged him, and I'll openly tell you we charged him 1,200 Australian dollars, which isn't a hell of a lot of money for the amount of work we put into the, remember, 80 to 90 hours? Worked that out. And he sort of accepted it, and then he wasn't happy about it. He mentioned it to people, he put it on a forum, which we normally don't go on, and things like that. So that's a job that we're glad has been and gone, aren't we?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, we basically we help people out, and then they complain about it. So
yeah, you can't win, can you?
Yeah.
The next job we did was Four Seasons.
Four Seasons, another auction job.
That's right, same auction that Spinner Card came from.
A lot of people don't like them games, but I just like that era. Yeah, they have the flat score rules. Yeah, I like them ones. Around 68, something like that. And then the Jacks Open come in the next month.
What was that? That was June.
June, yes. Jacks Open, another good game. Good drop target game. And I think that was in fairly good condition, that one, I think.
There was a bit wrong with it. I mean, we've got a book here, so that's what we're doing now. We're going through this book.
Well, we've got rebuild flippers. We've got rebuild flippers on every game we get, basically. Unless they've been done not long ago. So pretty well every stepper gets rebuilt in every game that we get. But then after that, we had a Jack in the Box coming in for a quick. It wasn't a strip down. It was just basically just a repair, I think, on this one. So I think we did a couple of steppers, but it was a game that we worked on. We've been servicing for a few years, so there wasn't that much wrong with it.
Yeah, we just had a question there, Graham. Yeah. First of all, Fish Out, thank you for keeping our childhood memories alive.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. They're our childhood memories too. Graham first started playing the pinballs with his brothers back in when, Graham?
Mid-60s.
Yeah, and he's only a little fella.
Yeah.
He had to stand on a Coca-Cola box to play them. And I played my first game in about 63, and that game was Tropic Isle. But we just want to keep the memories alive for everybody. That's why we do this. We've said this thousands of times. We are not a business. We're hobbyists. It's our hobby. We do this half a day, 6 half days a week, Monday through Saturday. We don't earn a wage out of this. Oh God, if we
do it just to help people.
we do it for the love of it, you know. And
we know people are busy with their own jobs and everything, so
we can do it
because we're retired. We can do it to help people out.
And you know, we appreciate. And I will just mention this, but there's been a few people of late give us a bit of money, what you call a super thanks when we do a video, or you can do a super thanks when you do a video, or a super chat when we do a live video. And that helps us. That goes into a little kit we got. And when we're saving up to buy something, like we just bought a pinball trolley. It was a second-hand one. We couldn't pass it up. It was $250. New they're about 500. So, you know...
Just little things. I bought earmuffs the other day down the road. They were nearly $40.
He's having ear trouble. Me
bashing
his ear every day. But, yeah, we just do this for the love of it. We really do. And I think you can see the passion that we have for it. And this is why we make those videos. We do make a little bit of money. We're monetised now. And we did 5 videos in December, and we noticed that helped us a bit. We don't earn much, but we're starting to earn a little bit more. You might get $100 here, $80 here a month. Yeah. You know, it's not a hell of a lot of money, but we're earning it. Now, Murphy Purple's Chicago coins, we haven't seen a lot though, Graham. In the time I've been with Graham...
we had a top 10, that was the last one.
Top 10, that's right. That was about 3 years ago.
Which is good going.
We haven't... And that's one of the ones with those wiper fingers on the score reels, and they're all in series, so if one fails, it doesn't matter whether it's player 1 or player... They all fail.
Yeah.
We had that top 10, and it's got the... what do you call it? The spinner with the photoelectric cells on it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see an old Chicago coin Bronco or Mustang, even though I didn't enjoy playing those. They've got the like rat trap type score reels.
They are very similar to Gottlieb.
I've watched a few videos. Ronnie from Joe's Classic Arcades done a couple. He had one there where the score mode is actually, the cam's made of plastic. It fits onto the shaft and the plastic cracks, and you've got to put a sleeve around it, like a copper sleeve, to fix it up.
Yeah, I don't think I've got any Chicago coin cards.
We have, not many. We've got a couple of relays and that, but
that's about it. Yeah.
I don't think there was an awful lot here. Like in Newcastle, we've had Hankin and Co. They're the people that had the 5 solid state games in 78 to 79, or 77 to 78, whatever it was. And there was Newcastle Amusements distributing. Now, Hankins had some Chicago coin games up in the old arcade, or we called it Fun Parlour, up near Newcastle Beach. And that's where I first saw Mustang and Bronco. But, we just didn't like playing them. I don't know.
They felt different.
Yeah, they did feel different. And Newcastle Amusements had a few of those as well around.
Well, they had that 2-player casino a lot of the game games. Remember there was one at Pinfest last year.
What's that one you like, the pool theme one, where it's...
High score pool.
What is it?
High score pool.
That one. Yeah, that's a weird game.
That's a novelty one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like it. I like it probably because I played it when I was a kid.
A lot of people say to us, you do mainly videos on Gottlieb. Well, yeah, we do. We can only do them on what we've got. And we mainly see Gottlieb, obviously more Gottlieb games. And we haven't seen a Bally game since, I think, Fireball, early 2023.
Fireball? Was that it? Was it Knight Rider?
No, Knight Rider was before then.
Okay.
Remember we got a new motor for the spinner thingamadoo? Yeah. We had a Fireball in 2023, and someone had rigged up a motor for the spinning disc in it.
It was the wrong one.
And it was the wrong one. It was going too slow or I can't remember, something wrong with it.
Too fast.
Yeah.
It was vibrating like hell.
Anyway, we reached out, and lo and behold, the lady really wanted this because it belonged to her ex-partner. He died, and she wanted to have some memories from him. And John Robertson at flippers.com in Canada had a brand new old stock one in there, and she bought that. So that was really good. We were able to help the lady out there. Anyway, carrying on there from Chicago Coin, we then ended up with a Jack in the Box. Did we mention that?
No.
Yeah, no, that was a tune-up sort of thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we've just our mate Errol.
He brought that in, and
what was he doing?
it had something to do with.
He's a good bloke. He's got about anywhere between 20 to 40 machines, but his trouble is that he mightn't play them for a while, so they might be sitting. So when he starts them up, they've got issues, and just to bring them here for a tune-up. Now we've got another bowling queen here that we've done for next month, and wasn't the one that we restored, or was it? Was it? No, it was another one.
Yeah. No, that was the one that came from out.
Yeah.
Oh, so the story with that bowling queen, and just before we do that, Murphy Peoples, thank you so much for your kind donation.
Oh, thanks, mate.
We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this bowling queen, a gentleman bought it, and he worked in a pub. He was the chef in a pub, and his wife was
yeah.
So they went and bought it off a bloke that owned another pub, and they wanted to put it in and operate it in their pub. And it's a fair way away from us, and we were a bit concerned about it because the coin unit in it was set up for...
Well, it was a 10-cent one, but we set it up for $1.
That's right, yeah.
So it wasn't totally reliable, but it was still pretty good.
Anyway, we got it all going for him. It had a lot of problems. Let's see, we put $400 worth of parts in that game.
Yeah.
Because we pull everything apart, we often find worn bits like coil stops, and even if they're not brand new, we put in second-hand ones that are good that we might change. You know, we might get a kit of some sort, and it's got a new coil stop in, and the one that's in it isn't too bad, so we'll reuse that.
Yeah, we'll get away with that.
We'll get away with it. We'll put the brand new one in the person's machine. Yeah. So there was that. Then we had this other pro football came in we mentioned earlier, which is still waiting on a cabinet. So that was
I think we've done a lot of the mechanics on that.
Yeah, we did the back box mechanics on it.
Yeah, I think we've done a load of work.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one that had the broken very target.
Yeah, okay.
And we had to get the very target.
Yeah, we had to get a new little part, the gear, one of the gears on the Bakelite and the very target broke. We did a little video on that if you've never seen that. What was next, Graham?
Jungle Princess. That was the start of our jungle.
Our
jungle machines. Yeah, that come in.
So,
when was it?
Well, that one came in August.
August.
So we had 3 jungles in. 2 queens and a princess.
I think that was...
Probably should rephrase that.
Yeah. That must have been when you left to go to America, was it? Or no?
No, that was a bit early for me, but you wrote it up for some reason.
Oh, you're too lazy.
Probably, yeah. I normally do all the billing.
Yeah, so just basically what we've done, rebuild, repair and adjustment, clean score reels, player unit, credit unit, 0 to 9 unit, flippers rebuilt, bonus unit rebuilt, pumpers rebuilt, drop targets rebuilt, chimes rebuilt, the plunger serviced, new spring in the plunger, trip bank serviced, all relay service with new parts included when needed, score motor service, new rubbers, globes where needed. So that's basically what we've done, and then you got your parts. Core sleeves, a core case for that might have been for one of the drop target banks, 2 drop target rubber grommets, flipper kit, compression spring rubber kit, light sockets, flipper linkages, because I think it had a flipper kit not long in it, and we only need the linkages.
Probably for the linkages. Well, that would be for the... Remember, Jungle Queen Princess have got the new style flippers that started off in 76 with Spirit of 76. We don't like those flipper mechs. They're finicky. They're troublesome. They stick and bind, and you've got to really have trouble. And it's got the old style ones, which we love, and we often make links for them if that's all they need. We always keep the old flipper links or old Bakelite, and we can make links.
Yeah.
And then we had a Jungle Queen come in the 9th month in September.
Yeah.
And that was from a guy. He'd been to a couple of our courses, but he just didn't have the time or possibly the confidence to get through it. And we did that for that guy. So that was another one. What was next, Graham?
Yeah. Another Jungle Queen.
There you go there. 3 in a row.
And that was basically the same setup. We've done rebuild all the steppers, play unit, replay, yeah. So pretty well every game we get in, unless it doesn't need a great deal of work, we just strip down to nothing and start again. So every machine gets to going over. We don't just do a 5-minute job to get right into it. Just pull it right down to nothing. And we're getting a bit sick of stuff. They're jungle machines, and we actually dropped the dropper card in between them too at one stage too, because we're a bit over fixing jungle machines, and so we done a dropper card at the same time as well, which is funny enough. We see dropper card nearly as much as what we see high ends and kingpins. So that was,
and that's the actual guy that we mentioned earlier. We did a spinner card.
Yeah.
This particular guy actually bought the dropper card, bought the spinner card that has this dropper card. So
yeah.
Away we went there. Okay, and then just moving on. The next thing that came in was a
the ice show.
Yeah.
Well, I've still got to charge for that, Brett.
Yeah. We did. In September, we have our annual Pin Fest, and we tune people's machines up, get them going. We don't sort of list them a lot. Some we do it. We did one on site out there at Pin Fest for free. A fella had a what was it? A jungle wildlife. And the player unit, like he took it to a pinball show early last year, which is held in the North Coast. It played up. He didn't worry about doing it. He did it in September on the day before Pinfest. Oh, I've got this little problem. You know, that's what they do. Yeah. Can you fix? So we do that. And what else did we do? Graham went down to the pinball thing in Tasmania July last year, and a guy down there had a pro football, and Graham helped him out a bit.
Yeah, we got it going, but it did need a lot of it.
The guy's supposed to send it up to us. I mean, it's a long way to send it, but cost him a few bucks. But
maybe he's got onto the bloke that's just moved there.
Yeah.
What was his name?
There's a guy that's moved to Tasmania that does EMs. I
was talking to him, a really nice bloke.
Yeah, he used to live down the south here.
Seems to know what he's doing.
That's probably the Tasmania needs him.
Yeah.
Kevin, come on, Brett, what is it? Kevin Mills.
Yeah.
Don't need you, Brett. You're redundant. I beat ya. He just put it up, yeah.
Yeah, nice bloke. So.
Yeah. So, Tasmania needs... There's another guy down there that does EMs too. I can't remember his name, but he's not in the goat shed. He must struggle along. So... that was pretty well 17 machines we just talked about there, in a long-winded sort of thing, that we did.
And we had a few call-outs as well.
Yeah.
But we don't usually do them.
Yeah, we don't generally do house calls unless it's something that we've done in the last maybe 12, 18 months.
Yeah, well, I had one when you were away, fix a jet spin.
Oh, right.
That was in the shed about 2 years ago, and it just had a slight issue with the board not kicking out.
Okay.
And that was nothing. We fixed that.
Yeah.
But he only lived 5 minutes away, so that was okay.
And the furthest service call we've done this year would be in Rockford, Illinois. Yeah. So when I stayed on my good friend Bob Milson's farm, we fixed a couple of his machines, and he took me over to see a good friend of his called Bill, and lived about 15 minutes from Bob in Rockford. Bill's an older guy, a little bit older than me, and he was a spray painter in the motor vehicle industry. And wow, the restorations he done, he completely resprayed a Gottlieb 2001 playfield. I think I put photos up in the goat shed of that. Wow, man. Absolutely beautiful. His cabinet restoration paint job, just fabulous. And he did the playfield with 2-pack clear coat. As I said, he was in the automobile game. He knows colour matching, and he just did a great job. And I was honoured to be able to repair one of his games, which was a baseball game. It just wouldn't kick the ball out. It was pretty simple repair. It was a score motor switch on stack 2C. Normally closed, just dirty. Hadn't used the game for a while. Oh, and he had another game I started to look at for him, but I couldn't finish it. Time ran out. But I think I gave Bob Milsner some clues, and he was going to go and try and help him out. So we did that. And I think I mentioned that Casanova, didn't I? We just got a few little things to do to that, and that'll be out of here soon too. So
yeah, we've got to put 100 bell in it.
Yeah, and what else was mentioned there was we stripped a couple of playfields down. We one of our good friends, Gary Hudson, he got, what was it? Drop a card. And he's sending it off to a chap down in Melbourne, or some people say Melbourne.
So we had to strip that top and bottom.
Yeah, and that was sort of, I think you done that when I was away.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's in the shed there somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
And he bit of truth here, he's just bought a flipper card, so he's got the set now.
Yeah, that's right. He bought that from overseas, and
spin a card, drop a card, and a flipper card. Then.
Yeah. So he's a happy man. He hasn't got the flipper card yet. It's on its way from Colorado.
Yeah.
So that would have made a trip from Colorado just across to the next state, to Long Beach, California. That'll get loaded into a container at some point in time, and it will end up here in Australia. So I'd imagine we'll probably see that maybe March, April, maybe even sooner, I don't know. I did mention earlier on, we were made aware when I was in America that a container full of pinball machines was getting shipped over here, and they arrived in December. Don't ask me what they are, we have no idea. It doesn't belong to us, it belongs to someone else. But people, or that particular person, is still bringing in containers of pinball machines.
Yeah.
So
more work for us.
Probably will be.
Yeah.
Now, earlier on, we mentioned about the projects that are underway. There's one we forgot, and I'm just trying to remember. We've got Lightning Ball, we've got Whirlybird.
Yeah.
That Whirlybird, if any of you people out there listening know of anybody that has 3D printed the helicopter for it, our helicopter is destroyed.
Well, by chance they've got one from the wreck.
Yeah, we'd probably be interested in that. 3D printing it, we've had this Whirlybird for about 3 years. We had the cabinet all repaired and everything, and looks beautiful. Just haven't had the time. 3D printing's come ahead in leaps and bounds, and what people are doing in that time. And there was a guy in the States doing them, but I mean, he wanted about $300 for one. Now, to us, that'd be, you might as well say that's about $500 and something plus shipping to get it to Australia. Well, it makes it out of our league. So yeah, if anyone knows of anyone that's got those or does them, if you could let us know, that'd be really, really good.
Or any, even just like a toy that'd suit it.
Yeah, whatever the.
Just give us a model number.
Yeah,
I have heard of people putting actually toy helicopters in them, and you wouldn't know the difference in some of them.
Yeah, because I actually got this one's missing the background, and I actually got the background. You know, the sheet that goes in there. That chap, what's his name? He's sort of got out of it now. He was kind enough to give me one in 2022 when we were over there. Los Angeles, tall dude. Oh, Herb Silvers. He gave me one.
Oh, Herb.
Yeah. I think he's retired now. I'm not sure.
He's been around forever.
Yeah. We were talking about the FS relay earlier on. And now here's one out of Cardwiz we've recently done up. You can see that's working quite flawlessly. A guy was after one. Now what the important thing here is this one's got the switches in it. You can see there. Where's my little pointer? These switches stacks down here. Visible by the fact there's the screw. There they are there. and you've got the black gear, and some have one switch, some have two switches, make break. A guy wants one for a big shot. Now they're not all interchangeable. I mean, they could have different plug configurations on them. So here we've got one with 10 plug, 5 on each side, 10, and then we've got one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plugs, 18 pin. So you know, and then they've got to be wired right. One side's for the lights, and one side's for the match number that links up with the 10-point score reel. And this one, the colours aren't all that good on it, but that's out of Card Whiz, and that was all seized up. That belongs to Kyle. We've serviced all that.
It's ready to go.
It's ready to go. It's got to go back in the machine. But yeah, just remember, people, if anyone's looking for one of those, it's not a one-fits-all scenario. It's totally different, and you've got to be aware of that. You may have to, because the switches there, they can do things like turn specials on and off, or
bumpers on and off,
alternate different things, and all sorts of weird and wonderful things they do with them. And you know, something came up the other day in one of the threads. I can't remember who posted it, but Gottlieb did a lot of funny things with match circuits. Now, in the old days, there was someone produced a little slide rule type thing, so you could tell what was going to. You based off what the last match number was and the last score. And someone had worked out that the 0 to 9 unit just went click, 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 click off the 1 point, and you could work out what the next match was. So if you weren't having a bad game, you knew the next match was going to be on 3. Wait till you get through, drain the ball and pop, you got a match. Now obviously that wasn't acceptable to the manufacturers, and they put in randomisation circuits. And one randomisation circuit that they used was the FS relay would fire at certain times. Now, someone put a post up the other day, I think it was Nick Shell, where a drop target also controlled firing that FS relay. So therefore, you know, you aren't able to keep track of the match. Another game, I can't think of the name of it, it might be Kingpin. It uses another part of the circuit, even in startup, to advance that the FS relay, because remember they went to FS relays for match units in later games. So that's called a randomisation circuit. Now, any of you that watch us religiously on YouTube will have seen a video we put up, a little short 20-second video about Gottlieb blocking or masking circuit, and we showed a model John Osborne made. Okay, now we weren't very explicit in that video, but that's a little teaser. That's another project we've got to do, and we will try and do that. When I was at John's home back in October, when I was in the United States, I was able to, John had drawn notes on this, and I've actually got a schematic diagram of that, and Graham and I are going to make one of those for our training courses. And I'll do a video once we've done it. You know, maybe a while, because we've got abracadabra to do in between, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so.
And what we'll also do is give a better explanation of how that works. So it uses switches on the score motor. If you're only scoring 30 points, the score motor's got those 5 little teeth at the bottom, so it's going to fire 5 times. But 2 switches are used to block pulses, so therefore they open at the right time. So you go 10 points, 20 points, 30 points. It opens instead of staying closed at the 40 points and does exactly the same at the 50 points. So therefore the last 2 switches open, and it's all to do with timing of the score motor. Now Williams and Bally do it differently, and I must be honest, I haven't studied it. And my good friend Will White said, why don't you do a video on the blocking circuit of those? Well, as I mentioned earlier, 2 problems: time constraint. I'd have to sit down and study it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask my good friend Mark Gibson, would he mind doing that, because his Fun with Pinball site has an animation on blocking circuits we just discussed. And I'd encourage any one of you to go and have a look. in there for it when you get off the air today with us, and to see how that works, because it's quite fascinating how they did it. You've got to remember, and Gottlieb did this for years. Remember, a lot of the 60s games you could get variations of points. You could either get, maximum 50 points or maximum minimums. Or,
especially the 1 and 2, the 2 and 4 player games, they had that 20, 30, 40, 50.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So,
because they were mainly like points games instead of special games.
Yeah. Obviously. So, have a look at Mark's animation on it, and it actually also shows you the timing. I don't have a laptop anymore, and I've recently worked out I think I can buy a mouse for this tablet we're broadcasting on now. So I'll go and look into it. It's probably a wireless mouse or or maybe not a USB mouse, a Bluetooth mouse, so I can use it at our training course. It's really good, and as I started to say, it's super, super clever how the Gottlieb people had that to work with, and some of the things they could do with timing. A little chip that big does it all now, but wow, back in those days, wasn't that cool? This is what's great about electromechanical games, and the fact you can see what's happening. You can't see what's going inside a chip, but that's one reason why we don't really bother with solid state. There's that many people doing them, isn't there, Graham?
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
in our area we've got, within 50 kilometres, we've got about 4 people that we can think of that do them, maybe 5 people, maybe more if we started thinking hard.
Yeah.
So, but in our area within 50 kilometres, there's not many people doing electromechanical. There's another guy that lives about 3 hours from us. He does it. He mainly does solid state. He does a bit of electromechanical, but
we're the only ones that do it. Just do EMs.
Yeah, that's why we specialise in it.
Yeah. Which is, like, I did work on solid states back in the day, but I just couldn't get into them. I'm more interested in the EMs myself because I grew up with them. I did a little bit of solid state, but as I said, there's just so many other people doing it anyway, and there wasn't anyone doing the old stuff, and I enjoyed the old stuff. So why not do it and help people out?
Yeah, well, I remember when I was looking around for someone to fix my friend's surf at that time, and I was pointed towards a place called Pinball and Pizza, which was sort of where the Newcastle Pinball Association was more or less based, and it's not there anymore, Pinball and Pizza, but I went there and they said, yeah, this guy, and he had his business card there, and they gave me Graham's business card, and I rang him up and spoke to him, and then I think I've mentioned many times before, I went out and met him at the Pinfest in 2013, and away we went, and then I got interested in it, and here we are today. Time gets along. This will be 11 years since I first met him, but I've only sort of been working here 10 years.
Long service.
Oh yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah. Well, the little break we've had's been pretty good. I mean, I came round a couple of times, and there was this problem with that Casanova I mentioned on the latching relay. Encourage you to have a look at that. Was bugging me, and we only had the schematic on my cell phone, and it's damn hard to read schematics, so I ended up getting that printed out, but I haven't received it yet.
Today, I hope.
Today, yeah, but don't need it now. We worked it out. Like, I drew it all up manually.
So we've got lights to do now.
Yeah.
On the portobello in it and put the knocker up.
Yeah, that's right.
So hopefully that should be gone early next week.
Yeah, I hope I haven't missed anyone there in the chat. Don't think so. It's great that David H joins us, and we all learn a lot of each other on the Fun with Pinball chats, and for that matter we learn a lot of each other and the Facebook groups, the Goat Shed, the EM Pinball Facebook group, and I did mention recently there's too many EM groups now. All the same members are in the same groups, and some people have been cross-posting in all the groups, and of course some people spend a lot of time researching things for people, and then the people who post don't get back to them, and that's just rude. And the coaches, or they all make note of who that was, and they'll get to a point where those people, well, they'll get help, but it'll probably be the wrong help. So just remember, if you're considering cross-posting, we can't stop you, but say you've done it, and that way a lot of people will know you've done it, and they may think twice about helping you. That's some of the better coaches. We've got another message here, Wheels and stuff. Welcome, Wheels and stuff. I don't know if you've ever joined us before, but Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year.
Could you tell us where you're from, please, and maybe what your name is, and let us know, have you been with us before? We'll be finishing up soon anyway. We've been going about an hour raving on. No, 10 o'clock, yeah. The old pub doesn't open much anymore at 10 o'clock. Most pubs don't open till 11 now. Your one does it?
Spanky's one.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, fair enough. Steve in Pennsylvania, okay.
Steve.
Would I have run into you at the York White Rose Game Room show, Steve? Already planning a trip for 2026. Be a little different this next trip, I believe. I want to see a bit more of America. I'd like to get over to see a bit more of Virginia. Murphy's was a first-time viewer. Sorry, man, where was that from? South Carolina. I was just about to mention South Carolina. That's the home of Joe's Classic Arts Arcade, Ronnie and Joe. Do you know them? Have you been there? I think you just joined our Facebook group too recently. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, I'd like to see a bit more of the United States, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. I'd like to see a little bit more of around New York. Hello, Sarah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. It's nice to have a lady on board. I want to see more in New York and a bit of upstate New York. I always like to visit Steve Young at Pinball Resource. That's great. We were fortunate enough to go to his home this time. That was great to see his wood rail collection. Absolutely fabulous. Well, I put some photos up in the group about that, I think. Yeah, there's I want to go to Colorado. My good friend Phil Bogemer lives there and wants me to stay. He spent some time with us in America, travelled from York to Chicago with us, and he had a fabulous time, and we had a fabulous time with him. Yeah, so there's a lot more I'd like to do. So 2026, hopefully, all being well, health-wise and everything like that. Getting older, you know. We're all getting older. Look at Graham, I mean. Hey, yeah, I mean, he's like, I still got my hair, you know. Hey. Notice I got my goat shed hat on too.
Yeah.
We got a couple of these made to test, and we forgot we had them even.
We might get another run of them done.
Yeah, we might do. Yeah, so a hot meal waiting for me in South Carolina. Well, hopefully that'll be next time, because I do really want to go there. I want to go and meet Ronnie and Joe. They're great guys. Martin Dillon, thank you. Happy New Year. Armidale, New South Wales. Well, that's only about 4 hours from us.
Yeah, my dad used to live there.
Did he really?
Yeah, back in the day.
Or Guyra?
He lived in Guyra.
In Guyra, okay.
He lived in 17 different places before he left school.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, so we got around a bit.
Yeah, so it's great to have people, you know, that you get to meet and see. And I've got a lot of people now we class as friends, very close friends in the United States. Made them over a period of time, and it all started through Facebook. Our group there, Ian Pinball, which we didn't start, but Marco decided he should start a Facebook group for us, and that's almost, I think I looked that up about 9 years ago now. What was it? I'll tell you, I'm going to look that up, because let me see, time gets away, and When was it? When did we start it? The group was created in December 2016, so yeah, it'll be 9 years this year, won't it? Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know this, but before that, before Kim was around, we had a little one going on Facebook. We just said, what's in Graham said this week, I think it was called, something like that.
Oh, no, that was on the Newcastle Pinball Association.
Yeah. And Marco used to come around and do a bit of a photo shoot of what was going on and what I was fixing.
Yeah, that's right, and obviously then, it was...
But that was only in the early days of Facebook.
Yeah, and the Newcastle Pinball Association, they're mainly all about solid stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I go to Virginia, make sure to see Luray Caverns. It's gorgeous. Underground caverns. Oh, that'd be cool, Jim. Yeah, I'll bear that in mind. Like I said, I want to try and see a bit more of America, if I possibly can, while I'm still able to.
Still a young bloke.
It's, by God, since I was over there, our Australian dollar was 68.9 per US dollar. It's now died back down to 61.9 or 61.5. So it's taken a turn. But now the American elections are all over, and things are going to be different very soon in America. Hopefully it'll start to go back up again, because when I was there in 2022, oh my God, it was about down around 61, and you went and got $300 US out of the ATM, and it came to about 490 Australian dollars. So very, very expensive, and I was very, very cautious on what I spent. But I still enjoy going over. It's a damn long flight, but you've got to enjoy it. And a few American people, our friends, have indicated they'd like to come to Australia, and we're hoping to see a couple of those people later this year. And a lot of people ask me, when's a good time to visit Australia? Okay, if you don't want stinking hot weather like we're getting now, don't come December, January, February. Consider coming in our fall, which is March, April or May, or our autumn, which is September, October, November. Now, I know your summer holidays are June, July, August. Okay, that's winter here, our time. Well, pretty much we don't get freezing cold, so it's not like in some places in America. However, it is winter, but, it's pleasant. We only get down overnight to about 8 degrees Celsius. That's probably about, I don't know, around 50 odd degrees Fahrenheit. I can't remember, but it's not super cold. We don't get snow here where we live. And as I mentioned earlier, any one of you viewers or our friends are welcome to come and see us here.
Yep.
It's not a palace, it's the goat shed, and see what we do and meet us, and we'll certainly look after you, for sure. Won't we, Graham?
Oh, definitely, yes, thank you.
They even give you a good old Australian barbecue, as long as we know you're coming in time.
And an Aussie beer.
And an Aussie beer, that's right. And another thing of interest to people, where we are here at the Goat Shed in Newcastle, we're only an hour from the Hunter Valley, where they make the best wines in Australia. So there's heaps of places in a place called Pacolban, which is near Cessnock in New South Wales. And
best beaches.
Yeah, we probably have some of the best beaches on the east coast of Australia, but in the winter you can see them, but you won't be able to go swimming. Because at the moment our water temperature is about 21 degrees Celsius, which is probably, early 70 Fahrenheit, so it's pretty good. Anyway, enough about that. We've waffled on too long, haven't we?
Yeah.
If you're all bored yet. Kyle Bartholomew. Oh, new hat. No, old hat, Kyle.
Yeah.
Graham's got one somewhere too.
Yeah.
I don't know what he done with it. Spanky might have ate it.
Oh, the one up there, what did I eat?
We only ever got 2 made, that's it. We were thinking about selling them, but the cost of shipping them overseas is ridiculous.
Well, I want a better quality
And
one.
yeah, and let's just remind you, we've still got some of those Goat Shed fridge magnets left if anyone wants one. Just we've got a thing with our address. Oh, and we've got a new email address. It's contact.goatshed@gmail.com. gmail.com. So contact.goatshed@gmail.com. Kyle says, when do I get a new jersey? Got
to put in the hours for that.
Yeah, got to put in the hours for that, yeah. So, yeah, if anyone wants to email us about any, like, we won't be giving technical help on that email address. The technical help will all be done on our Facebook group. That way others get to learn, not just you. That's the reason, okay? But if you've got any questions or anything, queries we may be able to help with, get us at that contact.goatshed@gmail.com. We're having a little sign made up with our address on it, and the girl that does that has been a bit busy, so we'll get her to add that email address onto that sign when she does it, or we'll have to boot her severely.
Boot it around?
Yeah, I think so, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and we'll be able to display that.
Yeah.
Okay, people. If anyone has any more questions before we sign off, we've been on the air now an hour and 11 minutes. I know it gets a bit boring, and once again, we thank Murphy people so very much for the super chat. I beg your pardon, I get confused with those. $20.
Thank you.
That's great, and we've got so much we need to buy this year, and keep us out of the pubs.
Definitely.
And away from bad women.
Yeah. Where can you get that?
I'll talk to you about that off air. Okay. All right, people. I think we had a lady watching, so we better be careful what we say.
And Brett.
And Brett, yeah.
It's a bit sensitive.
Yeah. What about Nathan? He's not there, is he? No.
He's barred, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Blocked him.
Okay. Yeah, just in closing, we'll be trying to do as many more videos as we can. And once again, if you've got anything you want us to do, let us know. I've got a couple of ideas for some forthcoming videos.
We're going to be doing one on Klondike with the score, with the poker machine rules.
Oh yeah, the slot machine rules, Graham.
Where it had, slot machine rules where they're didn't they do a hack from the factory or something?
Yeah, there was a mistake made where they didn't put a jumper on the factory. We can thank our good friend Paul Patty for that. He had a Klondike about 2-3 years ago. It drove him nutty. And he finally worked out that it wouldn't pay, you get the stage coaches or something come, I can't remember what it was, but it was one that was worth about $3,000 or a free ball or something.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
It wouldn't pay it, and they actually missed a jumper from the factory. Several Klondikes, no one knows how many got out like that. Must have been a Friday afternoon machine or something.
Because I don't remember that problem when I was a kid, so
yeah.
They just run
and someone in our Facebook group had that problem. G in Upton, which had it, and I think I steered them onto Paul's original post about that, which is in EM Pinball. It's not in the Goat Shed if anyone goes looking for that. Just Paul Paddy or Klondike, find that there. Kyle says, what machine is next? We hate to say it, but it looks like it's going to be Close Encounters. We're hoping we've got to get to it, so we're going to have to get... Brett will come round and help us move the other machines around. We can get to it and we can have a good look at it. And the one after that we're going to do is next on the list. We should be doing pro football, but the reason we can't do that at the moment. And
we've got the mechanics of ice show to do. We can do that.
We can do that, but once again, that's got to have cabinet repairs. So we don't want parts laying around everywhere. We like to keep them all together. It looks like Mustang will be next. We'll finish Casanova here, then we'll try and get on to Close Encounters.
Yeah, Casanova.
And then
next week.
we got to put a little the head back together. A Bronco, just put all the mechanisms back in it. The FS relay we showed you here. Cardwiz, sorry, and the replay unit and another unit there. What other units we got out there? We've got 3 units out. What's over there?
We've got player unit, credit unit, and the FS relay.
Oh, okay, so we've got to do that. So that's what's next.
Well, what's going to be on lease in here next?
Mustang.
Mustang. Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, Casanova will be going. We've just got to finish that off.
Okay, Mustang.
See the dilemmas we've got, people?
Because that's going to do, and that goes and we get another golden arrow.
I have got it written all down. Don't panic. We know what we're doing. We think.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots to do. All right. Well,
But not today.
not today. No, we're still on holidays. But we might do a little bit of work on this Casanova because we want to test it. Couple of little things. We should just mention it in closing. It's not matching on player 1, but it's matching on player 2. Simply, we trace the circuit down to a motor switch. There's one motor switch on switch 1A and 2A. Think about that hard for a minute. It's matching on player 2, not 1. So the switch on 2A is working, equals player 2. Switch on 1A is not. We've already proven that by shorting the switch out. We just got to clean it.
And plus we found no problems with the score reel.
Oh yeah, the 10-point score reel on player 2 was locking on. Wasn't the end-of-stroke switch. What it is on these multiplayer games, both Bally and Williams, they have a player relay. So there's make-break switches on it, and the make-break switch on player 2, 10 points, when it was engaged, it was dirty or misadjusted. Therefore, the power wasn't getting through completely enough grunt to the scorer.
Yeah.
We fixed that. We've got to change the light bulbs in the animation in the bagatelle, and a couple of other lights in the back box. And we're probably going to fit a 100-point bell to it. This thing's got no bells in it. The bell on the match step is missing, and the only other bell in it, I think, was a 100-point bell. So
yeah, 100.
we'll probably
We're not going to put a 1 point in it because it gets to a 9.
Yeah, well, I don't think we've got the clanger.
Oh yeah, I've got them.
Yeah, oh, okay.
I could just make one.
Yeah,
But yeah, we'll put a 100-point bell on it.
yeah.
It's got those sort. I had a quick look yesterday actually, and the bolt's there, but there's no other bits on there.
Yeah, right.
So,
Okay.
So I'll have to make something up.
All right. So we'll do that because at least it makes a bit of noise because this guy's never owned a pinball machine, and we feel that he might like this and get another one, or sell that one and then get another one. Who knows what he might do?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Any other questions? That's about it. Okay, people. Thanks once again for tuning in, tolerating us for an hour and a bit. And we just wanted to give you an insight. We try and do a live presentation every month, and as I've mentioned before, we're going to try and incorporate some repair tips in those. I know we haven't really. Just wanted to talk to you about that ASFS relay if people are looking for them. Anything else we want to talk about?
No, just same old thing. Just everyone have a good year this year.
No, Kyle, you don't get a pay rise. You don't get that till you're into your 3rd year, and you're only into your 3rd month.
What are we paying now?
Bugger all.
Double it.
He pays us.
Oh, fair enough. I've got a carton of beer a week.
Yeah, carton of beer a week. Yeah.
Plenty of work.
Yeah.
Come back, Kyle. All's forgiven.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Spanky, he sort of wants to go to the pub. We want to do a little bit of work. Then we'll go to the pub maybe if we can afford it. And keep on flipping. Don't tilt your machines. And thanks for watching. So what we'll say is, from Spanky, there he is. Bye everybody.
See ya.